Hello everyone. It is Navneet Krishnan from IIT and GATE classes, Bangalore. In this section, we are going to see GATE Aerospace 2020 solutions of aircraft stability and control part. A total of 8 marks has been added under this section, which includes 2 1 marks, thereby 1 into 2 is 2 marks, and 3 2 marks, that is equal to 2 into 3, 6 marks, thereby total is 8 marks, which is a significant amount of marks. So this topic is much important. So we'll move on to the first question asked. That is question number 12. For conventional airplanes, which one of the following is true regarding roll control derivative CL del R equal to dou CL by dou del R and yaw control derivative Cn del R equal to dou Cn by dou del R, where del R is the rudder deflection. And option A is given as CL del R greater than 0 and Cn del R less than 0. Option B is CL del R less than 0 and Cn del R greater than 0. Option C is CL del R less than 0 and Cn del R less than 0. Option D, CL del R greater than 0 and Cn del R greater than 0. Before answering this question, we have to see what is the sign convention usually followed. Yawing angle towards, that is rudder deflection towards starboard, is positive, and yawing movement towards starboard is positive, rolling movement towards starboard is positive. This is the sign convention usually followed in the aircraft. So from the top view, for positive rudder, from the top view, consider this is the airplane. This is the rudder deflected towards starboard. So del R is the rudder deflection. Whenever we are deflecting rudder towards starboard, that is towards the right wing, it creates a lift on the rudder at the aerodynamic center of the rudder towards the port side due to the pressure difference. This lift, since CG is somewhere here on the airplane, this creates a rolling movement, yawing movement towards port side, that is towards left side of the wing. Okay, that means for a positive rudder deflection resulting in negative rolling movement, that is for a positive rudder deflection towards starboard creates a rolling movement towards port side. Since sign convention towards starboard is positive, that means yawing movement towards port side is negative. So for positive rudder deflection, it creates a negative yawing moment. Now to see the rolling moment, we'll take the side view of the airplane. Consider this is the side view of the airplane. Rudder is deflected towards starboard, that is towards that side, thereby creating a lift towards starboard, like this. Since CG is located somewhere here on the airplane, thereby it creates a rolling movement towards starboard like this, that is towards right wing like this. So positive rudder deflection resulted in positive rolling movement, that is rolling towards starboard. So option A is the correct answer, that is for a positive rudder deflection resulting in negative yawing movement and a positive rolling movement. Positive rolling movement and a negative yawing movement. So option A is the correct answer. Next, we'll move on to question number 21. Velocity of an airplane in the body fixed axis is given as in an array 100, minus 10, 20 meter per second. The side slip angle is dash degrees. Round off to 2 decimal places. Velocity of the airplane in the what is the given data? Velocity of the airplane in the body fixed axis. That is, in the IJK axis, velocity is given. That is, UVW velocity is given as 100, minus 10, 20 meter per second. From this, absolute velocity can be obtained as square root of u square plus v square plus w square, that is equal to 100 square plus minus 10 the whole square plus 20 square, that is equal to 102.46 meter per second. Velocity in the j axis, small v, velocity in the j axis can be obtained as v equal to small v equal to absolute velocity into sine beta, where beta is the side slip angle. Since we already know, that is, velocity in the j axis is in the body fixed frame is minus 10 meter per second, and absolute velocity we obtained now, that is equal to 102.46 meter per second. Substituting this, we'll get beta as minus 5.56 degree. Next question. For 3 different airplanes A, B, C, the yawing moment coefficient was measured in a wind tunnel for 3 settings of side slip angle beta as and tabulated as for beta equal to minus 5 degree, airplane A produces yawing moment coefficient of minus 0.03, airplane B produces minus 0.025, airplane C produces minus 0.04. For side slip angle of 0 degree, airplane A produces yawing moment coefficient of 0, airplane B also produces 0, airplane C also produces 0. For side slip angle of 5 degree, airplane A produces yawing moment coefficient of 0.03, airplane B produces 0.025, airplane C produces minus 0.04. Which one of the following statements is true regarding directional stability of the airplane? A, B, C. A, B, and C. Option A, all 3 airplanes A, B, and C are stable. Option B, only airplane C is stable while both A and B are unstable. Option C, airplane C is unstable. A and B are stable, with A being more stable than B. Option D, airplane C is unstable. A and B are both stable, with A less stable than B. Okay. For airplane to be stable, we have to know what is the stability criteria. That is, for a directional stability, dou Cn by dou del R, where del R is the radar reflection. In some textbook, it is given as psi, should be less than 0, or dou Cn by dou del R should be, dou Cn by dou beta should be greater than 0. That is, where beta is the side slip angle. For airplane to be directionally stable, either of these 2 criteria should be obtained. Okay. Now we'll see what happens here. Let us consider this is beta 1, this is beta 2, this is beta 3. This is CN1 for airplane A, CN2 for airplane B, sorry A. This is CN1 for airplane B. Similarly for C. And so what is the condition we require? Dou Cn by dou beta should be greater than 0 for airplane to be stable. First we'll take airplane A. So dou Cn by dou beta, that is equal to Cn1 minus Cn2 minus Cn1 by beta 2 minus beta 1 for airplane A. That is equal to Cn2 is nothing but 0 minus of minus 0.303, that is 0.03. Beta 2 is 0, beta 1 is minus 5, minus of minus 5 is plus 5, that is equal to 0.006. 0.03 divided by 5 equal to 0.006. That means airplane A is stable. Airplane A is stable because dou Cn by dou beta is greater than 0 for airplane A. Similarly, if you take for airplane B, if we calculate what happens, Cn by beta, so Cn2 minus Cn. So we get it as, again this for airplane B is also stable. That is airplane 1 is also stable and airplane B is also stable. Now we will see for airplane C. This is for airplane B. This is for airplane A. Now for similarly, if you calculate dou Cn by dou beta for airplane C, we get it as 0 minus 0.04 divided by 0 plus 5. So it is minus of 0.008. So airplane C is unstable. So airplane C should be airplane C is unstable from this whatever values we obtained. So either option C or option D can be correct. But option A tells that A and B are stable. Option C also option D also tells that A and B are stable. But they include a statement called A being more stable than B. We'll see what happens there. Here, dou Cn by dou beta value is 0.006 for airplane A. Dou Cn by dou beta value for airplane B is 0.005. That means airplane A has more positive value than airplane B. That means airplane A is more stable than airplane B. So option C is the correct answer. That is airplane C is unstable and A and B are stable, with A being more stable than B. Okay. Okay. We'll erase this part and we'll move on to next question. Okay. Next question is the eigenvalues for cuboid motion of a general aviation airplane at a stable cruise flight condition at low angle of attack are lambda 1 comma 2, that is equal to minus 0.02 plus or minus I 0.025, that is The eigenvalue obtained in the complex number with a negative real part. If the acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square, the equilibrium speed of the airplane is dash meter per second. First, for a Pugad motion, eigenvalue should be a complex number, complex value. So here the eigenvalue is a complex value, and it also should have a negative real part. So it is having a negative real part. So this given eigenvalue is a Pugad mode of motion. Okay. So lambda 1 comma 2 is given as the eigenvalues lambda 1 comma 2 is given as so minus 0.02 plus or minus I into 0.25. From this we can frame the quadratic equation as s square minus lambda 1 plus lambda 2 into s plus lambda 1 into lambda 2 equal to 0. So from this s square plus, if you substitute lambda 1 plus lambda 2, what happens? It is plus or minus 0.025. Imaginary part is neglected, like cancelled. So only positive real part minus 0.02 plus minus 0.02, that is minus 0.04, minus into minus plus, so it is 0.04s plus lambda 1 into lambda 2, that is minus 0.02 plus I 0.25 into minus 0.02 minus I 0.25. So if you I into I is a plus b minus a minus b is nothing but a square minus b square. So that a square is 0.02 square minus b square is I into 0.25 whole square. I square is minus 1. So I square is when you substitute I square equal to minus 1. So this equation becomes as 0.02 square plus 0.25 square. So the value is obtained as 0.0629. Okay. So from this natural frequency of the Pugad motion, natural frequency for Pugad motion can be obtained as square root of 0.0629, square root of 0.0629. How it is obtained is that is s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square is equal to 0. This is the equation we'll be getting. Okay. From this omega n can be written as omega n square is nothing but it is 0.0629. From this natural frequency of the airplane is nothing but square root of 0.0629. Okay. So what is the value we are obtaining? Square root of 0.0629 is equal to 0.2507. This is the natural frequency for Pugad motion. P implies Pugad motion. From this, the equilibrium speed of the airplane is obtained as natural frequency of the for the Pugad motion is known as equal to square root of 2 into g by v naught. where V naught is the equilibrium speed of the airplane. From we already obtained natural frequency for the cubewide motion, that is omega p equal to 0.2507, and acceleration due to gravity is nothing but 9.81 into square root of 2. We obtain equilibrium speed equal to 55.33 meter per second. Okay, this is the equilibrium speed of the airplane for the cubewide motion. Okay, next we'll move on to next question. Question number 45. For general aviation airplane with tail efficiency equal to 0.95, tail efficiency neta equal to 0.95, and horizontal tail volume coefficient VH equal to 0.453, downwash angle slope dou that is d epsilon by d alpha equal to 0.35, wing lift curve slope CL alpha equal to 4.8 radian per radian, and horizontal tail lift curve slope CL alpha equal to 4.4 per radian. Shift in the neutral point location as a percentage of mean aerodynamic chord is dash. That is, they asked the neutral point location with respect to mean aerodynamic chord. Okay. Now we'll see what is the given data. Given data is tail efficiency factor neta equal to equal to 0.95, and tail volume coefficient VH equal to 0.453, and downwash angle with respect to angle of attack d epsilon by d alpha equal to 0.35, CL alpha W for wing, that is equal to 4.8 per radian, which is nothing but the lift curve slope of the wing. CL alpha T is nothing but 4.4 per radian, which is the lift curve slope for the tail wing. Neutral point location with respect to chord is given by this equation, that is x and p. NP is the neutral point and C is the chord, that is equal to XAC by C, that is with respect to chord of the wing, everything with respect to chord of the wing. So x and p by chord of the wing equal to XAC divided by chord of the wing plus lift curve slope of the tail divided by lift curve slope of the wing into 1 minus d epsilon by d alpha into neta into VH, tail volume coefficient. Since all the data we know, okay, so we can substitute all the data and we can obtain what is the neutral point location. Okay, XAC by chord, that is aerodynamic center with respect to chord is not given. Aerodynamic center with respect to chord of the wing is not given. So we can substitute it as 0. Since the value is not given, we can take it as 0. So other values are given as AT equal to 4.4 and the AW is equal to 4.8, and 1 minus d epsilon by d alpha 1 minus 0.35 into 0.95 into 0.453. When you substitute all this, we'll get it as 0.2564. So that is, in terms of percentage, we'll get it as 25.64%. So neutral point location with respect to chord of the wing is equal to 25.64% of the chord of the wing. Okay. So the shift in the neutral point is 25.64% of the chord of the wing. If simply they asked neutral point location, we can substitute XAC by CW as 0.25 because for all subsonic speed airplane or general aviation airplane, we can assume aerodynamic center location with respect to chord of the wing as 0.25. But since they asked a shift in neutral point, that is, they have taken reference as the aerodynamic center. With respect to aerodynamic center only, they are calculating what is the shift in neutral point for the given airplane. So thereby we have substituted 0 for XAC by C as 0. Otherwise, if they ask simply neutral point location, we should substitute XAC by CW as 0.25 and will be getting as 0.50. That is around 50% of the card. Okay. So since they ask shift in the neutral point, we have to take something as a reference. So here the aerodynamic center is the reference. So with since we are calculating neutral point location, shift in the neutral point location from the aerodynamic center. So we can substitute XAC by C as 0. So we'll be getting shift in neutral point as 25.64% of the chord of the. Okay. This is the last question. So with this, we'll wind up our section. Thank you.